Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. For today's Skyrim mod video on the PS4, I'm going to be continuing my ReShowcased series. These are mods that I have previously shown on the channel before very early on, and they are mods that I hope to be able to provide a much better showcase for not only them, but you the viewer as well, so that you can see if this is something that you would be interested in adding to your playthrough. Today's ReShowcased mod is for Blink Short Distance Teleportation by mod author Cyan49, and is a mod that I've had for a very long time in my playthrough, and I really could not see my mage playthrough without it. It's an absolutely fantastic mod that has so many uses beyond just the obvious. For the re-showcase of Blink, I will be showing how I get to each chest location in the quest in its entirety, unlike last time where I cut those sections down to save on the overall time. This is in hopes that it can help newer players that might be having trouble completing the quest to get the final spells. I'll also be covering a question that I got asked quite often about Blink, and that is why some players were only able to teleport very short distances with it, while others could teleport the max range of 300 feet, as well as a few tips and tricks that I use when using Blink. With that said, let's see how to find this mod. So in order to find this mod, bring up the search function with L1 and type in Blink to the search bar. You'll see it right here. The name of the mod is Blink Short Distance Teleportation. It is by the mod author Cyan49, and Cyan's mod description in part reads, "Do you like teleportation? This is the most functional teleport spell pack for PS4. This mod adds one type of spell, but there are 5 variations of visuals. These spells are for alteration or conjuration. The spell is named Blink. It is a short distance teleport that works instantly." And here you can see a list of the variations of Blink that we can get, as well as the classes that you can cast it from. The Blink spells have their own scaling. Higher skills allow you to teleport farther, but it also increases the cost of spelling. Spell cost is affected by the enchant. Scrolling further down, you'll see that the spell tome is located in a chest near the Guardian Stones, and some tips for the mod is that you can pass through fences and gates, but if you think you shouldn't do it, look for a lever or a key. Spell isn't silent, so if you're an assassin, you should use a quiet casting perk. And finally, the spell can only be used for the target location that is ground and walls, so in other words, you can't just teleport straight up into the middle of the air. You need to have somewhere that your character can safely land his or her feet. Now that you've downloaded and enabled the mod, you want to make your way to the Guardian Stones, which you can find at this location on the map. This, of course, is one of the very first places that we all come to in a normal playthrough, located right here a little ways down from Riverwood, so you can get these spells almost instantly in a new playthrough, but do be aware there are some enemies in the surrounding areas that we have to visit. Now, if you're like I am and you play with your crosshairs off, then I do suggest going into your display settings and turning them back on temporarily at this time. You do not need to have them on in order to actually use the mod, but it will help you in being able to see where you're aiming as you're getting used to the spell. If you happen to have grass and tree mods like I do, then it might be a little bit hard for you to be able to actually find the chest as it's kind of covered up, but there should be a little bit of a sound coming from it, and you can find it right here. As you can see, I actually have a tree that is growing through it, but just for reference, the back of the mage stone is right here, and the chest that you want to touch is located right here. The chest that I'm referring to, of course, is the chest on the ground, Lydia, but I'd be more than happy to take you up on that offer after the showcase. That was good timing. Added Unstable Blink. This spell is removed in 30 seconds. Select OK. After you select OK, when you touch this chest, it disappeared in an instant. This chest seems to have an unknown magic effect. Select OK again, then quickly face your cursor up to the cliff right here. Go into your pause menu, head over to Quest, and find where it says the Blink spells, and make certain to toggle this on so that you'll be able to see the quest markers where you'll be going. Go into Magic, head to Conjuration, and scroll down until you see the spell Unstable Blink, and equip that to either hand. Now when you try to cast it, if your cursor is red like that, you cannot teleport there, but if your cursor is white, you can. So you want to teleport to right about here, and then aim your cursor about where you see that I'm aiming it, the marker's right there, so aim your cursor right about here, and your character will definitely be able to land on the cliff up there. And then from here, quickly get up to the chest right here, and go ahead and touch it. Now at this point I'm going to go ahead and actually equip a spell because there are going to be enemies around. I'm not going to actually be using teleport. I'm just going to go straight down this way. In my experience, you only have 30 seconds that the spell is active, and then it's removed from your inventory until you get to the next chest, and it's just not enough time to be able to get to the chest. However, you are still able to just go ahead and run to the chest. The timer's just for the spell itself. Now, up here, you will have a couple of enemies, or you may have them. I have, as you can see, so just be mindful there could be enemies around if you're a low-level character. In any case, the chest that you want to go ahead and get to, you'll see as we come up to it, is right here. Go ahead and touch this chest. Select OK. And now you want to make your way over this way. Also, if you do decide to re-equip the spell, as each chest will give you the spell back for additional 30 seconds, you will have to go back into the magic menu and conjuration to actually equip it. From my experience, you cannot shortcut it at this time because it will just disappear, but once we have finished the quest and you get the permanent spells, then you will be able to go ahead and actually favorite it and use it anytime you like. In any case, just continue to follow the path that I am, or make your own way to each cursor. Also, I would suggest if you happen to have jump times 2, that is a mod, to have it enabled. That is what I'm using, so if you're going to follow my path, it gives me just enough of a jump that's still realistic, but just makes it a little bit easier to clear. The chest that we want is right here. It's located under the water, so just come down this way. Go ahead and touch this chest, select OK, and then you want to kind of make your way right to over here to get out. Don't bother with trying to teleport out because it's a pain in the ass. Come up this pathway right here, and we're going to be heading back to where we first started. The Guardian Stones are up this way a little ways. So there are the Guardian Stones. Make a left here and continue up the pathway. And then turn to the right where the pathway curves. And a little bit further up this pathway, you'll come off to an area that splits like this. Make a right here. Now, at some point around this area, you probably will encounter an enemy. Sometimes they're on the pathway, sometimes they're over near the chest, or they're over near this tree. Can be any of these particular areas. It's usually a bear, so just be mindful. He's probably near the chest, which is getting close to being, we're right here, yeah. Take care of him real quick. Don't worry that you probably won't be able to teleport to this or jump, because all you need to do is just kind of get up close to it, move your cursor up, and you'll still be able to touch this chest. So go ahead and do it. Select OK. You'll notice now we have 3 cursors come up on our compass. That is because we are getting close to the end of the quest. So make your way down this way. Now this is where you will definitely, if you're following me exactly, you will probably most likely want to have jump times 2 active. That is because we are heading up to Bleak Falls Barrow, and the way that I'm going to be using that spell. Now, if you don't have it, you might still be able to go up the same pathway that I am. I don't know, to be honest. But just figure out some way to get up there. You can see where your quest markers are located, and you don't need to worry. They're not going to disappear if it takes you a little bit to get up here. If you are using jump times 2, just kind of take the pathway that you're seeing that I am taking here. And sometimes it's a little bit hard for you to be able to get up this even with jump times 2, so you might kind of have to kind of jump back and forth like this to get your character to actually go up. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle for me to get up it, like right here for example, he's having a little bit of trouble getting up even with the jump mod. In any case, once you get up here, we're going to have some more enemies to take care of. Make your way over to the stairs right here, and you do want to try to take care of these enemies before continuing the quest. There'll be one right about here. Go ahead and take him out, and there should be another one right here. Take them out, and then there'll be one more over here, and as we get over here, the spell is going to activate again automatically. Now this is very important. You do want to try to use the spell within the allotted 30 seconds because the final chest to finish the quest is located here, and I do not know what would happen if you missed your window of opportunity. You might have to start over, I'm not certain. Go ahead and select OK. Quickly take this guy out. The chest to finish it is located right there. Bring your magic up. Go back over to Conjuration, scroll back down, and again re-equip your unstable blink. Now aim your cursor right where you see I am, and it'll guarantee that you're able to get up there. Now quickly go ahead and touch the chest, and congratulations, you just finished the Blink Spells quest. You now have access to the permanent spells. As you can see, there is one for Conjuration and one for Alteration. Go ahead and choose whichever you prefer. I'm going to be choosing Alteration as that's where I want them. So I'm going to take one of the Ghost Blink, one of the Lightning Blink, one of the Mage Blink, one of the Shadow Blink, and finally one of the Void Blink, all in the Alteration class. You can go ahead and take these as well if you would like. You can take one of the spells or you can take them all. It doesn't matter. Whatever you don't take will remain here, and I'll show you how to get back up. There's an area down there that we can get back up here later on if need be. In any case, go ahead and head into your inventory, to the items, head over to books. And when you get here, look for where the spell tomes were added and go ahead and read them, learn the spells. Also quickly, I'm using a interface overhaul, that's why this looks like this. This is not a part of the featured mod. Now that we've learned the spells, go ahead and bring up your magic, and wherever you added it, Alteration or Conjuration, select that area and find your spells. I'm going to go ahead and actually favorite these so I don't have to keep coming back in here. Should be one more down this way. Yeah, right here. And now I'll give you a demonstration as to how each of these variations look, as they will have a different effect on your hand and when you actually teleport. So this is Ghost Blink, and as you teleport you'll notice that you kind of reform in this like ghostly ethereal state. So this would be perfect if you're role-playing as, like, say, a ghost type character. This would be perfect for that. I'll do it one more kind of in the dark area so you can get a good look at it. So neat effect there. And then after that we have another one here. We have the Lightning Blink. So this of course is electric based, as you can see on my hand, and then when I reform it's kind of like in this thing of lightning, which is really neat looking. Go ahead and cast it a couple of more times so that you can get a real good look at how it looks. It's really nice that Cyan did include these variations so that you can really build it up as to how your character is. Like, for example, the Mage Blink, which is the one that you will often see me using. This is kind of a nice all-around one if you're not doing any particular class of magic. So I really like this one and I use it quite a lot. And we'll do that one more time. Then after the Mage Blink, this one right here, the Shadow Blink, this is a really neat one that as you cast it, the screen grows dark, and when you reform from the teleport, you'll notice it's kind of like in this dark mist. This would be perfect, I would think, for somebody rolling as a vampire, or maybe as an assassin, or just like kind of a more evil Dragonborn character. This would be perfect type of blink for that type of build. Again, really nice that Cyan gave many options to customize this to, just like the final one located here, which is the Void Blink, and has a really neat effect. The screen goes kind of purple when you teleport, and you come back in kind of like these purple void flames. This is a really neat looking one that I actually had forgotten how cool this looked. I might actually start using this, and we'll do it one more time. So that is all the variations of Blink, several that you can choose from. So now a couple of tips that I can give you for that I do when I'm using these spells is, since I play with my crosshairs off, again, you do not need to have them active to use the spell. Once you get good at casting it, you can just go wherever it is that you would be intending to go anyways, for the most part. So like, for example, if I want to go up here, but let's say that I want to be precise where I'm aiming at, and I want to make certain that I don't miss. So for example, let's say I want to go into the middle of that structure right there. You can go ahead and hold the spell in your hand like this, aim your camera up quickly and back down. That'll bring the cursor back to you, and then you'll be able to see exactly where you're aiming. And as you can see, I was able to get exactly where I was aiming. Alternatively, a quicker way is to duck down, which will bring the cursor up, and you can see where you're going that way. That's often the way I do it if I want to bring the cursor up. Sometimes when you're casting it, it will just come up automatically anyways. Now, a question that I got asked quite often in the original video I did is why some people could only teleport very short distances. That is because whatever class you chose, Alteration or Conjuration, whatever your skill is in that affects how far you're able to go. If you're not very skilled in that class, you won't be able to go very far, but if you have high skill in it, then the max range that you'll be able to teleport with the spell is up to 300 feet according to the description that is provided for it, as you can see right there. Now let's say that you want to get back to the chest where you originally got these spells. You are able to do that. The chest will remain in the same location that you got the spells at right there, but in my experience you're not actually able to teleport back up there like you were originally when getting them. I'm not certain why, but Cyan did leave us a shortcut to get back up there that you can find. It is located right here. So just come right here and it'll say activate unstable blink. Do not worry, this will not remove your spells and make you start the quest over. It just brings you back to the chest, and then you can pick up anything that you left up here or store any of the spell tomes that you decided not to learn. Also, I do not know if this is set to respawn, so please keep that in mind. Let's say that I want to teleport very far away, like say over onto this right here. Then something that you need to be aware of is if you teleport extremely far away, it does bring up a loading screen just like that, but it wasn't very long. As you can see, it sometimes will differ a little bit. For the most part, they're not long. Now let's say that I want to teleport all the way down the mountain to down here. You'll notice that I'm not able to. That's because it exceeds the max range of the spell. However, I can just pick to teleport further down the mountain if I don't want to have to run or jump down it, and just kind of do it like this, picking spots. Sometimes you will spawn instantly, sometimes you'll still hit these loading screens. Again, they're not very long, they're far shorter in my experience than like loading into a new area. It just depends on where you happen to aim at. So as you can see, I just hit another one, but I already got all the way down the mountain, and I was pretty high up, so it didn't take me long to teleport down like that. However, keep in mind that regardless if it's a load screen teleport or an instantaneous one, it can still be affected by how long it takes to be able to continue playing, depending on where the area is and PCs, etc. Also, if you do this quest very late on in your game and you have a high level of conjuration, you'll notice that the unstable blink still does not take you very far. That's just the way that it is. Your skill in alteration or conjuration only affects the range of the final spells that you get, not unstable blink, at least in my experience. Also, if you do happen for some reason to have to restart the quest, if you're not able to finish it for whatever reason, then I would suggest going into your load order, disabling the mod, coming into game, forcing a save, then going back in and enabling the mod again. That will completely remove everything that you start the quest over. That's how I was able to make this showcase. And I want to thank you as always for taking the time to watch it. I hope that it helps you out and be able to enjoy this absolutely incredible mod. And special thank you to Cyan49 for making something like this for us to enjoy on PlayStation. It's one of my absolute favorites and it's been long overdue for a re-showcase. Thank you again, everyone. Take care. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.